there she is. All right. Let me show you a couple things. If you have not accessed Canvas yet, there's actually, I sent a video out way back. I made a video and put it on YouTube about accessing Canvas. Did anybody see that? All right, I like it. And some of you guys are like, I don't need that. I know all about Canvas. Is this anybody's first time online lecture? I had several people earlier today. Have you all gone through this before, the online lecture world? It seems like, how could somebody not? But there are people that have been out of school until right now. Okay, so let me show you. Here is our Canvas shell. Bow. And let me become a student. All right. Ooh, I feel weird. I'm a student. So if you go to modules, that's the main place to go to. It's got the tutoring information, for example. This is the unit you've got to work through. There's that practice scan that I was talking about. That's due tonight. It's quick. It's 4 questions. Ooh, and most of them are just what kind of app are you going to use to scan your homework kind of stuff. So don't freak out. How to Zoom. So obviously, if you haven't watched this yet, you probably don't need to because you're currently doing it. So congratulations. I also put a factoring methods handout because factoring is huge. It's something I'm going to assume you have a decent grasp of from algebra. We will review it, but I'm not going to reteach it. We are going to review it. So this is a decent handout. This is what I give my students when I first teach them factoring, this handout. Quadratic equations handout, if you want it. And then there's a video going over the syllabus. So I'm not going to go over the whole syllabus today. I just made a video. You can go watch it. Before you ask me a question about how the class works, read through the syllabus, right? But please don't hesitate to ask me questions. It's fine, but maybe, look where all the answers are. And then, of course, the first 2 assignments are down here from the chapter 1, chapter 2 review section. So I gave you, the assignments are out of the review section. Let me see, let me see if I did this. I'm going to become an instructor and you're going to see a lot more. Look at all the stuff you can see now. Too much. Here we go. I'm trying to remember where's unit 1? Here it is. If I did. So I included, well, that's all I did, just linked it. I just linked it to the book. So you can't have any excuse about not being able to find the first couple of assignments. Is everybody with me? Anybody not with me? That may be a better way to ask that question. You guys all good? Yes? Okay, all right. Let's see, anything else I want to show you? Not necessarily. Anybody have any questions, technical questions about how things are going to work? All the due dates for homework show up in Canvas. So for example, when you first log in, you should see to-do list over here. You can see due dates for everything. When you look at the homework sheet, so this is all the homework for the whole semester is right here on the homework timeline sheet. Yes.
I got something about that. It's not letting me open it.
Oh, this bad?
The homework timeline sheet.
I'm sorry. Even if you click here, so this part's not loading.
I've tried looking. Yeah, neither one is loading.
Is there anybody else having trouble with that?
Mine isn't loading either. It's just a blank screen.
Well, that sucks a lot.
Oh, actually, it just loaded.
There you go.
Wait, let me see if I can download. It didn't download the copy yet, but it was taking a while to download the screen.
I got you. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it keeps making me have to log into Canvas, and then it goes back to the app, and then it makes me re-log in, and it never comes up.
Well, shit.
Mine just downloaded.
Okay, good. So if you need me to, I can email it to you.
Yes, please.
Are you having any trouble with, like, if you try to look at the syllabus, does it give you issues also?
No.
No, just the homework sheet.
Yeah.
All right, I could try to put the homework sheet. Do you see how so the way I did it was I redirected it to that. So I could post the homework sheet somewhere else. That's not a redirect. Maybe that would be a good idea. Maybe I'll do that very soon.
Okay.
You guys are going to be working on problem. Maybe I can post it a different way because this is a little bit interesting Canvas, like an advanced Canvas course I took, and I learned how to redirect shit. Yay. But it might be freaking out on your phone. I don't know. Okay. Anybody else have any technical trouble, any issues? The thing I wanted to point out here was these dates are not due dates. These are the dates that will be in those sections, in those chapters. Right. So we'll be finished with 1 and 2, hopefully February 4th. We'll be getting into functions on Thursday. And then we'll be in there. You can see when the quizzes are happening. Cool. All right. You can see blah, blah, blah. So that's in my video. I'm not going to even talk more about that. And of course, there's like the baby version of my background, right? That's what Escher did. And then they did this to it. Okay. So, go ahead.
Quick.
Yes.
So how is it going to work with points for the reviews and stuff? Is it like for the first module, is everything just going to be 0 and then it starts to have points on it?
So here we go. Get ready, everybody. Basically everything, I do not trust Canvas's gradebook. It very often, I've had several colleagues that say it'll make that grade higher than it should be for students. And then they have to explain, no, your grade is actually lower than that. So I don't trust Canvas's gradebook. So what I do, you can see your grades. I'm going to put grades on your quizzes. I don't really grade the homework. And again, I explained that in the syllabus video, right? I say, okay, correct, or redo on the homework. I don't give you a grade for it. So everything's going to be 0 points in Canvas, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add an assignment called overall average as of whatever date. And I'll update that as we get more and more stuff graded. Does that make sense? Because I really don't like something else being in control of grades and getting it wrong, right? If the grades are wrong, I want it to be my fault so I can be upset at myself. I don't know what to do if I'm upset at a computer program. Bet. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Okay. I'm a teacher. I don't bet much. Don't have much to bet with. Okay. Are you going to explain to me what that means? Oh, okay. Somebody else on the wait list got here. Okay. So just everybody on the wait list, just stay after class. I'm going to go ahead and let you enroll. Just stay after class. Okay. Oh, okay, it's good. Is that that's brand new? I never heard that before. I feel like I'm from the 40s. Well, that's pretty nifty. All right. Is that what that means, nifty? It's nifty. All right. I'll stop. So if there's no other technical questions, I want to immediately jump into this. So if you can access Canvas, I need you to go, well, crap, Jeff, become a student again. I think, let me do this, or else you're not gonna be able to access it. Hold on. This warm-up sheet, it will now appear magically at the top of this module. So if you go into your Canvas right now, the very first thing up here should say warm-ups, and you should be able to access it. Is anybody not with me? If you're not able to access Canvas right now,
It works.
Oh, good, thank God. If you're not able to access Canvas, maybe can you shoot me an email? I can email this to you because this is, or you could just copy this down. I can keep this up on the screen. Yeah, you can just copy this down. It's not a lot to it. So I'm really sorry if you're hoping for an exciting first class. It's too damn bad. We're going to do some warm-ups. I want you guys to work on these by yourself, and then I'm going to let you guys work together in groups. And I might break you up into groups and then re-break you up into groups, maybe do it twice just so you can meet some more people. So I have a twofold thing with this. It's so you guys can meet each other and also to start to break away the rust and the math parts of your brain, kind of get them waking back up. If you have a lot on here, you're not sure what to do with it, do what you can. I'm not grading this. You don't have to turn this in. So now's the time to make a ton of mistakes. Make a lot of mistakes now and get them out of the way. So I want you to work on this. Let me Okay, I can stop recording for now. So anybody, if I forget to record or something, just let me know. That's my fault. So let me put this up here. I'll post this up on Canvas so you guys can access it. What does this mean here?
The square root and the power. It's
Not a
like the
square root.
cubed inside of a cube.
Not a
I
cube.
forgot the term.
I think
root
it's a cube root.
of 64 squared.
There you go. Yeah. So the way to remember this is that roots are on the bottom, powers are on the top. Do you guys remember that fractional powers are roots, right? So like the square root of x, I can rewrite that as x to the 1/2. Part of me wishes we never invented radical notation. Part of me wishes we only ever used rational exponents. But oh well, we are where we are. So there are two different ways to write the same idea. Why does this make all the freaking sense in the world? Because what does the square root of 9 mean? Why is the answer 3? Because if you cut 9 in half multiplicatively, you get 3, don't you? 3 times 3? So it is half of 9, but it's half of 9 multiplicatively. How the shit would I know it's multiplicatively? Because what does an exponent mean? What operation is an exponent based on?
1.
No, what operation is an exponent? Multiplication. So 1/2 in the exponent means half of this thing multiplicatively, which is what a square root does. That's why they mean the same thing. So this, is everybody semi with me? I do have a tendency to explain things a little bit differently. So when I see a power like this, the bottom is the root. That's how many parts I'm breaking it up into. I'm breaking it up into thirds, and then I square it. So what's the cube root of 64?
4.
And what's 4 squared?
16.
16.
Cool. Let me show you another way to do this. If you break 64 up into thirds, don't you get 4 times 4 times 4? And I want 2/3, right? I want 2/3. Well, what's 4 times 4? 16. Ah, holy shit. No, yes, no reaction. Meh.
Yeah.
Bunch of- All right, math boy. All right. Now, I'm hoping to God that part B did not give us too much trouble. But if it did, okay, let's tackle this. What is part B really all about? Which is really always there, but what is B all about? Does anyone know?
PEMDAS.
PEMDAS. And just real quick word about this. It could have been called this, but how do you say this? I could have called it pedmasa, which sounds like you're drunk, right? It's not me, Ossifer, it's the pedmasa. You know, it's not going to go over. So we didn't like the way this sounded, so we called it this. And then you have, all right, it's about to go on a rant. Then you have teachers who actually believe multiplication comes before division, and they teach that shit, and they screw kids over, and they need to stop. PEMDAS should be like this. End of story. Pen, if you won't work, what's happening? This is PEMDAS. And of course, what's the saying? Please excuse my dumbass son. That's right. Or dear Aunt Sally, whichever one. Or I had a math class. It wasn't me. A math class. They said, we talked and then we think it should be, please excuse my deficient algebra skills. I'm like, all right, whatever you guys want. But why should it be this? Because multiplication, division, same strength. Whichever one comes first, that's what you do. You do not multiply before divide. You do it as it comes. Same thing with addition, subtraction. What is the very last thing I'm going to do in this expression?
Subtraction.
Yeah, because what's at the ass end of PEMDAS? Addition, subtraction. So I'm going to do this last. So then what's the very first thing I do?
Parentheses.
Exponents.
Parentheses,
Yeah.
right? So what's 10 minus 13? Negative 3. And then what's the next thing I do?
Your
One
exponent.
big, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Exponent.
Yes, good. One big mistake is do not make this 24. That does not make any sense. Where is the 6? Does that question make sense? Where is the 6? What's being done with the 6?
It's being divided by whatever you have on the exponent when you.
So isn't 6 on the bottom? And 4's up on top. So how can I make 24? If one's on the bottom, one's on the top, right? Do not make this 24. That is not 24. That doesn't make any sense. So like you said, the next thing is exponents. And now I do this whole chunk as it comes. This is all multiplication division. I do it all as it comes. What's 4 times 9?
36.
36. And then 36 divided by 6.
6.
And now I get 24. And now I can finally subtract. How's that, everybody? You guys cool with that? The reason order operation is so hard is because it's the grammar of the language of math, and grammar is one of the hardest things to learn about language, right? If you've ever learned a different language, I understand vocabulary is kind of overwhelming, but grammar is frustrating. All right, let's see, what time we got? Do we have enough time to finish it? Yes. So now most people's pick for most difficult was part C. And I think the reason it's the most difficult is because you don't really know what a negative power means. What does a negative power mean?
You flip that shit.
Flip that shit. That is correct. That is the
I liked
technical.
this one a lot.
Sweet. It's exactly, I agree. This one is just so easy if you let it be. What's the last thing I'm going to worry about in part C? What's the part I don't give a shit about at first?
The -3.
This -3 on the outside, because I worry about in the parentheses first. I have so many colleagues that say distribute this thing. No, don't. That's so silly. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want to raise it to the -3 until I've made the inside the least I can. So I get the least shit to raise to the -3. That only makes sense to me. And then negative power means flip that shit. So what's being raised to a negative power? Well, first off, 6 over 15 is 2 over 5. Is that cool? Don't miss the easy stuff. What's being raised to a negative power? Inside here. What's being raised to a negative power? You can do it.
The X on the
Which
top.
X? Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
X
so
to
the 12
negative
X's.
12.
So the 3 likes where it is, but the 12 needs to move here. Doesn't the 3 Y's like why they are up top? What about these 8 Y's?
Goes up top.
Goes up top. So anything with a negative power flips. Anything with a negative power flips, and both of these guys change places, basically. They both flip. Negative powers mean flip. So those 4 Z's go up, and these 5 Z's go down. And this -3 is just hanging outside. Now I can consolidate the stuff on the inside. Now, if you have a different way to do this that makes all the sense in the world to you, do it your way. That's fantastic, right? But this is the way I kind of teach it when I first teach this to people. So I got 11 Y's. I've got 15 X's. How many Z's are left where?
1 on the bottom.
1 on the bottom. I love it. And now what does this power mean? What's a negative mean? Negative power.
Flip it.
Flip it. And then the 3 means cube it. Right? This is almost like that game, Bop It, Flip It. I don't remember that. Let me get rid of that. I don't need you. So I'm going to try to do both at one time. You ready? So everything, let me just do one at a time. Sure. So I'm going to flip it. And I still have to cube it. Shua. I'm assuming you remember your basic exponent rules, right? How's everybody doing? You guys feeling all right so far? If you are bored, that's actually good. That's fine. Bored right now is a good sign. If you're the opposite of bored, okay, we got to be a little concerned. If it's been like over 5 years since you last took math or something, then, you know, you got some work to do, but, you know, don't freak out yet. Any questions on that one? Is that better for anybody? Did that make any sense? Did that make that kind of problem better, easier?
Yes.
Because there are other ways to do that make that really disgusting. Okay. My thing is always, if I can get rid of the negatives, that is so much better, because negatives are one of the main places humans make mistakes with math problems, right? I love it when I say it like that, because then I'm like, is he human? All right. Factoring. Oh, shit. Let me show you guys something. I think I showed you this real quick earlier, but let me show you what this looks like. I have put up on the canvas, up on the internets, where to go? Factoring methods. And I love this handout. When you first look at this handout, it seems a little overwhelming, but notice the top is a quick reference guide. And then it goes over each thing in depth. Grouping, what I call the surefire method, difference of squares, difference in sum of cubes, all that kind of stuff, remember? And then I have this if you want to practice some stuff and show me your work, it's fine, but it's up to you. So that's really not an assignment. You with me? It's just a reference that you can use. So who remembers how to do these here? This is 3. Oh, shit. How did I do that? All right, we can do this, Jeff. There it is. Good job, buddy. All right. How do you guys do this? How do you guys do this kind of problem here?
I kept referring to your sheet.
Okay,
It's actually
sure.
a really nice sheet. And
Oh,
I paid attention to the fact that you multiply the first term by the last term, like secretly, and then you do the math to figure out the middle term.
yes. Because that 4 is going to mess up the works, right? It gets in the way. Parts of the 4 get in the way. So normally, if that 4 wasn't there, it would just be 5 and 2 because they make 3 and blah, 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 right? The 4's there though. So the parts of 4 are going to mess with that whole idea. So I've got to take into account from the beginning, 4 times -10, -40. What adds to be -3 and multiplies to be -40? Well, that almost
Five.
looks like,
5.
isn't that a Chinese number? Say again, sorry. -8 and 5.
And 5. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, what you do is you break the middle term up. You make it into 4 terms, because 4 terms is the easiest factoring there is. It's just grouping. So this step right here ensures that the way you break the middle term up makes the grouping work. That's why I call this the surefire method. And that's not my name. That's what it was called when I was taught this. I'm a Georgia boy, but I wasn't taught this in Georgia. But it sure sounds like surefire, it'll work. But then you drink some moonshine and then math makes more sense. This is not an officially sanctioned activity. All right. My teacher said. And then so hopefully you agree with me that grouping has got to be relatively easy. Please, please, please. If it isn't, okay, I'll work with you. But you have to love the shit out of grouping. It should be relatively easy.
Can I ask
know
a
I'm on
dumb
the right-
question?
Yes, please.
I know that what we're about to do, sorry, I jumped ahead a tiny bit, is we're going to reduce the 4x plus 5 on one side and the x minus 2 on the other side. But there are 2x minus 2s.
All right, stop. You ready?
Okay.
Stay with me now. Stay with me. So what if I had this? I said simplify that. What would you do? Wouldn't you distribute? Stay with me. Come on, tell me what would you get? Right? Distribute, what do you get?
4bx
Do it.
minus
Yep.
5b.
All right, now, do you see how many B's are here in this term? In there one? How many B's would you say are here? Are you with me?
2, yes. Sorry.
There
keep
aren't really
muting.
2 though, are there? Do you understand? There aren't really 2 B's. There's one that somebody distributed, and namely us. So what happened here? What happened in this? There is 1x minus 2 that somebody distributed to a 4x and a 5. That is really what you are doing. That x
Sure.
minus 2 is just like the b. Do you see how I made it exactly the same problem? I'm sorry to be yelling at you. It's just I'm excited because these are the kind of questions I love. Not because they're relatively easy to explain, but because they are easy to explain and because they lead to such huge misunderstandings, right? So it's like, oh, there's an easy thing that will alleviate a lot of suffering. Did my explanation, it's okay if the answer is no. Did my explanation make sense?
Totally. I knew that was the right answer. I just wanted to make sure
No,
that I
that's
knew
beautiful.
why.
This happens so often in mathematics. You know what to do, you just don't know why you're doing it. And anytime you feel like that, you need to let me know. Because inevitably, you're going to have to build on that skill that you don't really have. Do you see what I'm saying? So this happens to so many students as they move their way up. They sort of get lucky that some of their foundation is shaky, and then they hit something that totally falls apart because they really never understood what this and this and this, but they kind of knew what it looked like. I see this all the time. So sorry, I get a little excited. All right, is everybody else good with that? You guys okay?
Excuse
I
me.
don't know. Go ahead, yes.
Can I see number 2, part C again real quick? Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to post this up on in Canvas, right underneath where you got it from Canvas. What time is it? Okay.
Also, for 3A, do you have to go through that method you went through, or could you just kind of jump straight into the 4x plus 5 and then check your work?
Oh, do you do trial and error? Like you kind of work out the different combinations of numbers?
Well, I kind of just worked it out in my head and was like, well, which ones would do these? And then I would put it on there. And then
Yeah, you're going to have a little bit of trouble with me. I need to see something. I need to see some kind of reasoning. So you're going to have to capture a couple of your thoughts and write them down.
Okay.
I'm a little concerned when I just see stuff happen without any idea of how you made it happen.
Okay.
Because there's way too many.
I was
Wait, I'm
taught
not
the star method. Is that fine to use too?
What, say again?
I was taught the star method. Is that fine to use too?
I don't know what the hell star method is. What's that?
I
Is
don't
that
know how to-
related to? Go ahead.
Yeah, like I don't know how to explain it, but you basically just like make a cross and then you basically I don't know how to explain it. I just know how to like get to it and get the answer, and I
How
got
did you
that
do this?
same
Tell me.
answer.
So you make like this?
No, like an X and then like a line across from it. Like basically like a snowflake kind of.
Oh no, I'm worried now. I think I know what you mean. So there's something called the master product, which kind of uses.
But it also
then
has a
don't you
line
put
through the middle.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also-
I know, and that's the part that has me worried. So don't you put like the -40 up here, up the top?
No, I put the -3 at the top and then the -10 at the bottom. And then I was taught
Oh, I see. Sure.
to like in the little top sections to put the very first number on it, which would be 4. So yeah, right there. That's how I was taught. And then the other side too. There's the other side of the -3. And then from
Then-
there solve it.
Solve it. What do you mean? You can
And
figure out what
then-
goes.
Yeah, which I got -5 and 2
But
on those 2 sides.
how? Where'd -5 and 2 come from?
Oh, from the -3. So I don't
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
I don't
I'm with
worry
you.
about the 4s at the beginning. I just like
I
put the
understand.
negative, like worry about the top and the
I
bottom.
understand.
And
You
then from
focus.
there,
You pretend like the 4 is not there.
yeah. And then from
Alright.
there, I get the 4x minus 5. So I stop worrying about the top and the bottom, and I just focus on
4x
the
plus
4x minus 5, and then a 4x plus 2, and then I make it equal to 0. And then if I can reduce the top and the bottom, the 4 and the 2, I just
All
reduce
right,
it.
all right. Listen to me. You're gonna dislike me. This is kind of a twist on something called bottoms up. And you see why it's called bottoms up, because they put what should be on the bottom, they put it on top. I don't even know if that makes sense. The problem with that is, do you understand why it works?
No, I just know how to do it.
Well, here's
and
my thing.
that it
Here's what I
works.
always say when anybody uses this method. I will let you use that method if you can explain to me why it works.
Honestly, I don't know. I was
So,
just
sorry.
taught.
Now look. Did it make sense what we did here?
Yeah,
And was it really that hard?
no.
No. Okay. This now, see, this is, and again, it's a difference of opinion. So I'm not saying I am completely right and I'm amazing, but students don't know why it works. And some of you guys are like, I don't care why it works. I just want it to work. All right. But teachers should care that you know why it works. And again, this is all right. That's all I'll say. I don't want to go on too big of a rant about that. I don't want to take something away from you that other teachers said it was good, but there is a reason why this is not great. And the most important reason is you cannot tell me why it works. Now here, you can see why this works. It's very simple. I mean, negative 3x is negative 8x plus 5x. So that's all I did was rewrite the middle, and now I've got 4 terms, and so I can group, because that's what I can group. So every step is very in your face as to why it works.
Hey, Professor.
Okay. Yes.
For your first attempt at solving the problem, what happens if you switch the 5x and then negative 8x, like their positions? Can you still solve it?
Oh, it'll still work. It'll still work. Yeah. The reason, if I have a choice, I always put the negative here, because when there's a negative in the middle is when we make negative mistakes. But it'll, in fact, let's do it real quick. If I change that around, I put the plus 5x and the minus 8x. Let's see, I can take an x out, and I can take a negative 2 out. Are you guys with me? Do you see how your 4x plus 5 would be in when my 4x plus 5 was out? Your x minus 2 is out when my x minus 2 is in. But don't we both end up in the same place? Right? So as long as you get the 2 numbers, it doesn't matter which order they're in. I just always choose, if there's only one negative, I put it first. So I make less negative mistakes. Is that all right? All right, I'm going to assume that's yes. What about part B? I call part B a thank your favorite deity problem, right? Whatever deity you appreciate, God or whatever, the flying spaghetti monster, whatever you enjoy, because it's easy as shit. I have no qualms saying that. Even if you don't know what to do there, it's easy as shit. Does anyone know the name of what this is, the form it's in? Anybody? It's a difference. Sorry?
Difference of squares.
Difference of squares. So it's 2 terms. It can only be squares or cubes. There's no GCF. And I know it's squares because it's got a freaking square. Everything is, I can cut it in half. Can't I cut everything in that in half multiplicatively? So that's exactly what I do. I cut 4x in half, 2x, 2x. You can do it, Jeff. I cut 9a4 in half, 3a squared, 3a squared. Minus plus, and I'm done. The minus plus makes the middle terms cancel, right? So if I see 2 terms and everything can be cut in half, it's got to be a minus. It doesn't work with plus. Why? Because if these have to be opposite signs to make the middle terms cancel, obviously it's got to come out to be a negative here, unless you bring in imaginary numbers, which we will eventually. Ha 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 ha. But with real numbers, it's got to be minus. Okay. I don't know if you guys can really, let me rewrite this a little bit. So this is the answer, because it won't go any further after this first step. Kabam. Difference of squares, easiest thing. All right. And then you get this guy. Has anyone ever seen Pulp Fiction? You're like, what's that got to do with shit? I somehow, when I teach this, I bring Pulp Fiction into it. Do you remember the scene? I don't know how to say this nicely, but somebody's in the back seat and something bad happens to them, so they get a lot of blood and stuff all over the back seat, and they have to call a certain guy in. Remember the guy? The wolf, the cleaner. He's the cleaner. He's got to clean it all up. Make the problem go away. Okay, I'll stop. You guys don't like it as much as I do. But this is almost like this. This one has 2 of everything. This one has 3 of everything, right? What does it have 3 of? It has XXX, and it's got, what's 8? That's right, kids, 2, 2, 2. Right? So here's how this works. Little dude, big dude. The little dude's a tiny dude. 1 of each, 1x, 1, 2. Same sign. How many more x's? I got x squared right here. I put x squared there. Don't I see my x cubed now? Bam, right? Stay with me. What about this 4? I better put the 4 here. Don't I see my 8 now? Don't I see my 8? Yes. But, I don't know why I'm yelling at you. So I see my x cubed, check. I see my 8, check. Don't I also see a 2x squared? Do I want a 2x squared? No. Don't I also see a 4x right there? Do you guys see what I'm saying? I see, oh, I don't want those things. So what I do is I call up the cleaner, right? Because the guy in the back seat got his brains blown out. I'm sorry, these things happen. And what the cleaner does is it's got to be the opposite sign, which makes sense because it's got to eliminate the stuff I don't want. So it's got to be the opposite sign. And then it's just this times this, whatever's there. 2 times x in this case. Done. So it's 1 of each, 2 of each, product in the middle, right? There's also a little saying, I think at least one person knows this saying. Same sign, opposite sign, always positive, which is so beautiful because it goes right along with my cleaner thing. Got some soap to help you clean up the stuff in the back seat. Okay. That was exciting. The main thing in chapter 1 is probably the factoring that needs the most review. There's some other things in chapter 1 that we're going to start to go over tomorrow. And then chapter 2's got, chapter 2's got a lot of other stuff. So tomorrow we're going to kind of finish up chapter 1 and get a little bit into chapter 2 so that we're on track. So right now we're done. Let's see, what time is it? Not too bad, right? Yeah, not too bad. If you have any questions and you need to hang out, if you are adding the course, you definitely need to stay. Otherwise, you are free to go. Let me know if you have questions.
Thanks, Professor.
Are we going to be turning in the sheet of paper at all?
Turning in which one?
The work that we've done today.
No, today it was all for you. So it's I don't want to see any of this. Yeah. So it's this was just warm up sheet. We've already done it together. I don't need to see it. You're good. How's everybody else? You guys all right? Who needs to, let's see, Megan and who else? Paul.
Later, Professor.
Somebody else. You're welcome.
Thanks, Professor.
Sure. I got plenty of math. I'll give it to you anytime.
Excuse me, Professor.
Yes.
Yes. When we do the homeworks, we should be just write the answer and send it to you, or we need to show you the formula how we do it.
You must show work. Tomorrow, I think
right.
I got a shirt that says show your work. I think I'll wear that tomorrow. Work is the thing.
Okay.
Work is the thing. I cannot help you. Even if you get the right answer, I can't tell what you did. I have no way to help your thought process. Work is the most important thing to show me.
Yeah, you're right. Just I was want to make sure.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Okay, thank you, Professor.
You'll never see a Scantron thing from me, for sure. How's everybody else? You guys don't seem to believe me. So if you have no questions, you can head out. Let me know if you have a question.
I have a question.
Yes.
I forgot the method you told me that in the office hour. It's on the homework, chapter 1. Like,
Oh yeah, we were looking at some of your, let's see. For which problem?
so number 58.
This is on the 1.1, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We still need to talk about that. So do me a favor. Bring that up tomorrow in class, okay? And we'll do that together in
Okay.
class.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, because I'm almost certain that more people will have that question. So
Okay.
corrections are due the day of the final, so you have time. So just bring that up tomorrow in class so I can do it with everybody. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
Let's see. You too. What's up, guys? Who anybody have questions? I know. Let's see.
Question.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I emailed you talking about how I'm not totally sure if I'll be able to make it tomorrow. I have a sort of important dinner that I have to get to.
Oh, that's right.
So
You
it's
thought it was
awkward
today,
time.
right? You thought it was today at first or something?
No.
Is that you? That was somebody else. Okay.
But I can like try to listen in at dinner, but the odds that I have a piece of paper are pretty low.
No, don't do it. It's fine.
I did do
before the lectures. I put them up on YouTube. If you can check in, that's a good thing. But it's not going to kill you if you miss one class. Just don't make it a habit to have these dinners. No, but I understand it happens.
Yeah, it's actually it's my 1 year anniversary, and I feel like it's important. So
at your work or with your person?
With the person.
With your person. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well,
but yeah, I did the chapter 2 review, and I do want to learn more about it. So I'm making sure you are posting that video, that you're like recording all this
As you
stuff.
saw tonight, though, this is one reason why it's not a distance ed course is sometimes I forget to record it sometimes, so it all depends on if somebody reminds me.
Okay,
but
this
yeah,
shouldn't
I post,
happen like ever again. So.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I'll post the recording. So no worries.
Right on.
Have a good time.
See you guys.
All right, how's everybody else? Let me focus on
Can you hear
my
me?
people adding. Who's talking to me?
Professor?
Nicole, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So maybe I missed it when you said it, but corrections, is that like part of my grade or something?
You are able to
Like
correct.
to do the corrections, you said they're due before the mid?
You are able to correct every homework assignment and every quiz and the midterm once, if you need to, right? So again, read the syllabus, watch the video about the syllabus. I go over that. The final, you can't make corrections to because it's appropriately named. Does that make sense? And all corrections are due the day of the final exam.
And if I do the corrections right, will it change my grade on anything?
If you get enough right, yeah. So even if I say redo on the homework, which means you got no credit, if you redo it and get enough right, you'll get back up to full credit. On the quizzes, I tell you, I explain it on the syllabus, how many points you can get back. You're not going to get all your points back. Don't get too optimistic. But I do let you get some points.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay. Work through the line. Let's see. Megan, Paul, and is it Alex that needs to add?